Yeah, okay, mate. So it does look like the market wants to be a buy and push higher at this point. Pretty disappointed we didn't drop today after all them burns. It was kind of a bit of a fake out at the end of it. But that's happened a few times now when you get those crazy amount of burns, the market seems to bounce. So whatever reason that is a little bit strange. But it definitely happened two other times in the past that I remember when you get a whole page full of burns, and then the market just seems to bounce for whatever reason that is. I don't know. Um, so I didn't really get much trading today at all. I bought a little bit of near. It's bouncing a bit now. Um, we're just kind of got this sort of pattern, this kind of bowl shaped pattern. We're into this 1 hour apex that's trying to break up from. I didn't get much trading done because I was working on the new alerts for the last, well, I must have done 50 or 70 hours over the last 2 weeks on it. But I was up all last night trying to get it finished and trying to get it done. So I just got those rolled out. So I didn't really get trading, and I was hoping the market would roll over today a bit when I was busy, and it's just not the case. But what I will say is, if we look at the 2 week candles, I would say 90% of them are still red. If you flick through them, most of them are all still red on the 2 week, and most of them are unlikely to flip green. There's a few outliers, as you can see here. Will that stay green? Time will tell. But if you look at most of them, I know there's a little bit of FOMO here because they're bouncing, but the 2 weeks are all still red, implying that upside might be limited. Are these all going to flip green on the 2 week? There is 5 days left, and we've already had like if I go to the daily chart here, we've already had, well, there's 3 days up in a row. This is 3 days up in a row, 4 days up in a row. Like a lot of these coins have had 4 days in a row. There's 4 days again. Uh, that's about mixed that one. There's one there, 4 days in a row. So how many days in a row can we get? What I'm saying is it's kind of a little bit extended to the fact that we have 4 days in a row, and we are coming into 2 week resistance. Interesting. There's a interesting chart here. But anyway, so you can see, are we really going to flip green after 4 days up on the trot? How many more days can we get? Surely there has to be some sort of pullback. ICP. This is green. Very nice candle on this on 2 week. Storage is up 14% today, so it's had a big bounce, but even some retracement of this would keep this green, keep this red. Sorry. So there's one there. EGLD is just up 10% today, and it's flipping green. So there is a few trying to flip green, but mostly they're all AXS flipping green. Mostly they're all red. This was an interesting chart, and it's got 4 days up in a row as well. One red day back down, and this would it'd be red on the week again. I just want to quickly talk about this Santos. So Santos is an Australian iron ore miner or whatever. Commodities in the commodities market. Now you can see this big pump, big bull market, and the crash, the BART back down. It put in a bottom, and it put in this double pivot bottom, much like a lot of the alts, and then it bounced like 50% of the way back up. Now, if you look here at, let's see this moving average structure. See how high the red 200 is? It's way up there. And if you look here at alpha, it's way up there. It's implying the price can bounce right up into this red 200 moving average somewhere, implying that the altcoins are bullish and that we should get that retrace back up in theory. So, buying some spot altcoins here right now does seem like a half decent idea, at least averaging in. I wanted to buy alpha today too, and it's bloody bouncing on me. But if we were to bounce up to anywhere up there, even if we're conservative, that's a 100% bounce. If we look at the 6 month chart, to me, this looks primed for a bounce, right? It just looks like we really want to bounce up here and take some liquidity back in this wick. So for me, I think, no, I didn't do it myself yet, but I'm thinking of buying some spot coins to buy and hold for a few weeks. Now, I was really hoping we would not bounce into the end of the month, but unfortunately, everything's just starting to bounce, which is a bit frustrating. Now, what markets love to do here is they do actually love to work their way back up into the white 100 moving average and reject. So if we're creating these red 2 week candles, let's just go to the 2 week. In theory, there should be some sort of a retracement back down as well. If we look down here on this base after the crash, like this, there should still be a dip back down, something like that, to take liquidity here. This is taking liquidity here, and in theory, there should be some sort of a dump back down to get back in. There'll be a lot of FOMO here, and they'll probably get wiped out again. So, but I do think that a dip back down into here, 50% of this candle on a new 2 week, I think that that's a very good buying opportunity for a bounce. That will also be, in theory, at this point, the dip on a new 6 month candle. So that could be the wick down, and then look for a buy, and then that could start bouncing then beautifully back up to take liquidity up here. So if we get that dip on a new 2 week, I think it's a very good point to be loading up.